All right, today I have the HK CC9. So I picked one of these up a couple weeks ago to do some testing. I have ported a couple of these for people, and I wanted to get one myself so I could test it. So I also have a slide that came in that has a porting job. So on the CC9, I can fit 3 inline ports. This one I might have been able to fit 4 because this has a different front sight on it, a shorter front sight. I probably could have squeezed 4 ports in there. But with the sights that come on it from the factory, that front sight is a little longer. So 3 is really all you're gonna get in this gun. And 3 I think is going to be plenty for what this is. So this is just the stock setup. I'll run a magazine through this. This is 124 grain PMC. I'll run that through it, and then I'll swap the slide over and shoot it again. And then I'll get chronograph data. I can't put this on the ransom rest because I don't have the grip inserts for this gun. So I'll get at the table, I'll get chronograph data on a few different ammos, and then I'll just, from the video, see if we can analyze how much reduction in recoil there is on the stock versus the 3 ports. All right, so this is the VP9 or the CC9 stock. All right, not bad. A lot of people say that this gun, you know, for a small gun, feels like a full-size gun in their hand. I don't think I would say that. I mean, I can tell it's a small gun. I kind of have big, skinny hands, and quite frankly, I don't like subcompact and smaller guns. I prefer full-size guns. But, I mean, this isn't bad. It's better than some others. Like the 365s, I just really don't like. The Smith & Wesson, the Shield Plus, those are okay. I probably like those a little better than this. But like the Glock, the 43, the 43X, the 48, like I just don't like those. I haven't shot a Hellcat yet. But generally speaking, I don't like the smaller guns. I prefer full size. So I'll get the slide swapped over and we'll try out the other one. All right, so now I have the ported slide on there. So 3 inline ports. I also threw a red dot on this one, a green dot actually. So we'll run a magazine through this and see how we like it. And this is still the stock recoil spring. All right, so that definitely makes a difference into how the gun feels in your hand, how it shoots. Trying to get used to the trigger. I don't know if you saw trigger freeze a couple times. But yeah, that definitely makes it feel different. It definitely makes it more pleasant to shoot. But again, compared to other small guns, this was still pretty pleasant to shoot, even without the ports. I wouldn't go as far as saying that it feels like a bigger gun. But these definitely help, so we'll get on the table and get some data for you guys so you can see the chronograph numbers. All right, so I'm going to start with Federal 115 grain, Federal American Eagle. So the advertised velocity on this is 1180. Got the chronograph set up. You won't be able to see it, but I'll read the numbers. Got the chronograph. Just going to start with the stock, a non-ported barrel, 5 rounds. and then I'll do the ported barrel, 5 rounds, and I'll show or read the chronograph data to you so that we have that. All right, that was 1134.8. 1109.6, 1129.3, 1121.4, and 1127.6. See if you can see that on the screen. Somehow I can get this to show me the average. There we go, average. So the average, if you can see that, is 1124.5. All right, we've got that cleared out. Probably not allowed to show taking this apart. It's pretty easy. You lock the slide back. There's a takedown lever that you flip down. Slide pops off. I've only got one recoil spring. This is the stock spring. All right, so now we're going to do 5 shots, same ammo, out of the ported barrel and see what the velocity is and see if on camera we can notice a difference in the recoil, just me shooting it. Ten 83.3, 1089.9, 1090.9, 1064, and 1083. So the average on that is 1082.2. All right, so now I've got PMC 124. The advertised velocity on this is 1,110 feet per second. That's the advertised velocity. So I already have the ported slide on there, so we'll go ahead and start with that one and then do the non-ported. Ten 24.3, 1012.5, 1022, 1030.5, and 1039. So there is that. Yeah, I know I moved it. An average of 1025.7. All right, so 5 more rounds of the PMC 124 in the stock configuration. $1047.6, 1044.6, 1054.8, 1056.4, and 1046.3. See the average there, 1049.9. All right, so this is Federal American Eagle 147, and the velocity is 1,000. 1,000 feet per second is what's advertised on the box. So we'll start this with the stock slide and barrel and see what we get, and then switch over. .983.6, 1,019.4, 977.4, 986.2, and 1,007.9. So the average on that is 994.9. All right, so Federal American Eagle 147 out of the ported slide and barrel. We'll see what velocity we get on this. .955.1, 954.4, 965.6, 974.1, and 962.3. So that gives us an average of 978.6. All right, so that's not an extensive test, but I had no failure to feed, no failure to eject, no issues. I had the slide lock back on all the empty mags with the ported barrel. So I think what I'll do is I'll load up another mag and just try to zoom in on me shooting it, ported and non-ported, just to see if I can kind of judge that angle of recoil reduction like I can get with the ransom rest. So, you know, overall, as far as little guns go, I like this one, and I usually don't say that. Even non-ported. So I thought that this gun, you know, it seemed like it returned back to zero pretty well when shooting. You know, overall, I like this gun. When it comes to small guns, this and the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus might be my two favorite. But, you know, do you need to port this gun? So this is probably a loaded question. I sell porting, so you probably think my answer is going to be yes, you should port this gun, and you should port every other gun that you own. That's not my opinion. So when people ask me, do I need to port a gun? My answer is usually, well, that depends. What are you trying to do with it? And a lot of times my answer is, you know, no, you don't need to. So the gun shoots fine without ports. If you don't think you need ports, if you're happy with how the gun works, then don't port it. If you want to just get a little bit more performance out of it, if you want that dot to return to zero just a little quicker, if you want the gun to stay a little flatter as you shoot, then yeah, you might want ports. That might be the thing. I have had a few customers who have issues, you know, physical issues, limitations that just makes it hard to hold on to a pistol. You know, most people are going to say, hey, it's a 9mm pistol. If you can't hold on to it, then you just need to man up, you know, go to the gym, get stronger, whatever. Well, some people, that's not an option. Some people might have some physical issues, arthritis, something else going on. Everyone's built different. Some people are just really small. Some people are really big. You might have a reason why it is hard for you to hold on to this firearm, and the ports can help with that. They can lessen how much this gun recoils, how much it moves around in your hand, and there's really no negatives as far as the velocity loss of the gun. That ammunition is still going to perform the way that it was intended to perform. So I hope that helped. Thanks for watching. To end the video, I'll put another magazine, 12 rounds of the 124 through the ported slide. All right, so that's the HK CC9. The porting options are on my website. If you don't want to do 3 ports, I can do just 2. So I have 2 and 3 on there as options. I don't have 1 on there as an option. I guess I could do 1, but in my point, you know, why do 1? So we can do 2 or 3. 3 is what we tested today. So thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed.